films even after losing a box. After a 5-mile walk around town, I never smell your socks. You hid movies from your folks and your mom hid them from your grandma. And a lot of the time that we hang out, you record it with your camera. Always have the strength to forgive when I hit you in the eye. You eat Chinese ramen, nachos, fish, even pizza pie. Standing tall with curly hair, leather jacket wrapped. Oh look, here he comes, the Million Film Almanac. Bobbly, 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 bellissimo. Bobbly, 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 bellissimo. Bobbly, bellissimo. Bobbly, bellissimo.
Hi, and welcome to Terribly Fun Films. We are now at part 7 of the superhero film rankings list, and this takes us directly into the top 25. And again, that's of the movies that were released as of the time of writing this list. I did not go back and reinsert films that came out afterwards. Certain films just are not on here at all. With that out of the way, we've got 25 to get through. Let's do this. Number 25 is Incredibly Ever After. Incredibly Ever After is a Japanese superhero film set in roughly the feudal era of Japan and has the same crazy, over-the-top style as a lot of the Sushi Typhoon releases like Vampire Girl vs. Frankenstein Girl, but is actually a family-friendly version of that, about a married couple who are masked superheroes, and it's just adorable. The acting's great. The two leads who played the married couple are fantastic together. The special effects are really good. The costumes are really bright and colorful. It's really funny, and I really have no issues with this movie. Everything about it just works really, really well. It's just so much fun. Number 24 is Iron Man, the first Iron Man movie with Robert Downey Jr. and Tony Stark that kicked off the MCU. It holds up really well. Obadiah Stane is admittedly a little bit boring, but that's just because he's meant to be like a secret villain. Like, you don't know he's a villain like halfway through the movie and stuff. But yeah, it holds up remarkably well. Energetic directing, great acting, amazing action scenes. The flying sequences are to die for. This film is awesome. Number 23 is Superman. This is the Richard Donner Superman film, the first one starring Christopher Reeve, and it's about 2 hours or so long. And that's because it takes time to set up all the characters properly. It's about 45 minutes or longer in the film before he even dons the suit whatsoever. And that time is spent on making the characters interesting and relatable, making you like Clark Kent, making you like Paul and Morgan, making you like Lois Lane, making you understand the world this movie takes place in, its rules, and that sort of thing. And yeah, the flying scenes look a little cheesy today. You can see some of the wires and stuff on the Blu-ray I own, but that's a little unfair to the movie, given age, the technology they had available to them to do the special effects. It has amazing acting. I don't know who thought to hire Gene Hackman as Lex Luthor, but they were geniuses. He's so much fun. Christopher Reeve is so sweet and likable and endearing. as Boy Scout and Superman that you really do believe like he's that Boy Scout like character right off the page. It's awesome. It moves really, really well, and it's just a ton of fun. Number 22 is Blade 2. Blade 1 was directed by Stephen Norrington. Blade 2 was directed by Guillermo del Toro, and its opening fight sequence is one of my favorite sword fight sequences in any movie ever. It's amazing, this fight sequence. It's so awesome. And it just sets you up for a crazy, gory, ridiculous ride, and the movie does not let you down there. It hits all the emotional beats, it hits all the action beats, it's absolutely kick-ass, and it has Ron Perlman. What more do you need? Number 21 is The Crow. This is the Alex Pueyres, Brandon Lee starring film that's dizzying, to say the least, in terms of its visuals. The film looks jaw-dropping. The miniature sets used for the crazy cityscape, the way the camera moves, the heightened makeup, the amazing cinematography. This film looks so good. It's a somewhat basic story in terms of just being a revenge thriller, only with fantasy supernatural elements, but that is just a stage for the great action, the awesome costumes, and, as already mentioned, the amazing visuals of the movie. Number 20 is Wonder Woman. This is the 2009 direct-to-DVD DC animated film Wonder Woman that has the voices of Nathan Fillion and Rosario Dawson and plenty of other big names in there as well. This is one of the best DC animated films. It looks great. They do a lot of strong lines for the characters, so they pop out from the background fairly well. The voice acting, as you heard me mention, lots of big names, amazing. It's a clever script. It's exciting. It's awesome. It's just fantastic. And number 19 is Sky High. Yeah, that weird Disney superhero high school movie definitely outbeats any Christopher Nolan piece of shit every day of the week for me. This film is simply a delight. It's so much fun to watch. The villain's really interesting. The villain's plan is really kick-ass. The cast is great. The costumes are awesome. The visual effects are funny. And there are some obvious jokes in terms of we are not quite parodying superhero stuff, but we are definitely being more lighthearted and joking about that sort of stuff. But there are also some really clever things that are unexpected. And I love this movie. Number 18 is Sparks, The Origin of Ian Sparks. This is based on a graphic novel, which I believe has the same title. I'm not 100% sure there. And is a neo-noir superhero film that has a similar style to Sin City if Sin City were in color, if that makes any sense whatsoever. And it's just great. You follow Sparks. Sparks as a superhero along with some other superheroes who are doing their vigilante superhero thing around town against one main bad guy. And nobody thinks Sparks has superpower for the longest time. And then the ending of the movie happens, and it's awesome. It's so well done. It makes so much sense. It's not just here's a twist to have a twist. It works so well. It's so interesting, and it changes the way you rewatch the movie. When you rewatch it, you'll be thinking, well, I know this is happening, and you can point out where that exact twist changes everything you thought you knew about the film. It's so cool and awesome. Chase Williamson plays the main character. He's fantastic. The low budget is utilized very well. Even with the CGI, it looks like low budget CGI, but due to the very stylized nature of everything, they actually give it a really cool look that allows it to stand out more and not just look like shitty CGI, if that makes any sense. Number 17 is Captain America, the First Avenger. This shouldn't be a surprise that this is in the top 20. It is my favorite of the initial run of solo MCU films leading up to the Avengers. It's fantastic. I was hesitant when I heard Chris Evans got the role. By this point, he was already Johnny Storm in 2 Fantastic Four films. He already had Push, and I felt like we could get somebody else who's not just in every superhero movie ever. It felt like that would be better, but I was wrong. Chris Evans was born to play this character. He is fantastic here. Even before the transformation, the special effects to make him look like that are astounding and really well done and hold up to this day. It's remarkable. And then the transformation sequence happens, and both big, but he still has that sweet, endearing quality that makes you like him before he was a superhero. It's phenomenal. Red Skull's an interesting bad guy. The henchmen are really cool. The plan makes sense. I love Haley Atwell in this film as Peggy. This movie is perfect. Number 16 is Big Hero 6. This is the Disney animated movie based on the manga of the same name. And this movie blew me away when I saw it in theaters. I didn't know what to expect, really. I expected to enjoy it, but I found all the characters to be delightful and fun. The animation, amazing. Baymax to be a great robot. And the emotional heart of the movie is ever present and awesome. And then you find out who the bad guy is, and that changes so much. And it's so intense and personal to our main character that it's really exciting and really interesting. Number 15 is Iron Man 3. This will probably be one of those controversial choices this high on the list. And I know, fanboys, calm down. I have heard one legitimate complaint about who the Mandarin turns out to actually be throughout the course of the film that I consider valid. Every other complaint throughout the history of this movie's release has been nothing but butthurt fanboys and fangirls being butthurt over nothing and not realizing what an adaptation is meant to be. Period. With all that being said, Iron Man 3 has the best characterization for Tony Stark and Professor Potts, has an awesome bad guy, has a really, really, really fantastic subplot involving Iron Man's depression, his PTSD from the Avengers, and he meets this little boy in the Midwest or so, and how the little boy helps Tony Stark rediscover his humanity. It's awesome. It puts Tony Stark through his places, because the one consistent throughout the MCU has been this: Tony Stark is always wrong for all the right reasons. In every single movie, this holds true. Tony Stark is a pompous, arrogant douchebag. But the fact that these movies, especially this one, makes you care for him, makes you want to see him not just survive, but actually become a better human being, is a testament to the acting, to the writing, to the directing. It's just awesome, and I think this movie distills that to its purest form. Is the most obvious example of Tony being a moron, as he often is in these films, and you still actually really caring about him because he wants to do good. He believes he's doing good. Number 14 is Hulk versus Wolverine. I mentioned Hulk versus Thor a little while back in one of my other videos, and that was a fun little film. Within that release on Blu-ray were two short films, running Hulk versus Thor running roughly 30 or so minutes, and then Hulk versus Wolverine running roughly 25 or so minutes long. And Hulk versus Wolverine does something nothing else until the movie Deadpool came out was able to do, and that's get Deadpool right. This was my wife's introduction to Deadpool, more or less, and she fell in love with the character because in this movie, it's aimed at kids and there's no cussing or really a ton of blood. He's still very Deadpool. He's irreverent. He's funny. He's insane. He picks bones with people just to pick bones with people. It's awesome. But more importantly, beyond just the Deadpool stuff that they get so right, along with all the other Weapon X things that factor into the story, is this understands what fans want from Wolverine, from Hulk, from the Weapon X project, from seeing these two fight. It understands all of that, and it's well animated, it's a lot of fun, it moves very well, and it has to be worth that. Number 13 is Orgasmo. This is easily one of the films I watch the most often on this list. Might be the one I've watched the most often, but I'm not sure there. It's hilarious. Trey Parker and Matt Stone's porn parody superhero is great. Great writing, awesome use of its low budget, really fun costumes, acting that really gets what each element in the scene is meant to represent and understand how to best bring that up. Really fun plot, really just ridiculous everything. Number 12 is Darkman, Sam Raimi's first superhero movie with Liam Neeson and Frances McDormand as a romantic lead, which is really interesting. It's fantastic. The makeup job on a burnt, scarred up Liam Neeson is great. The makeup used to make him look like other people, great. The plotting, the crazy camera angles, the insane editing, great. But this movie is just so cool and weird and dark and different than other superhero films, with just one of the greatest directors working today with a great cast. Number 11 is Batman, Mask of the Phantasm. This is Batman as Batman should always be. Part detective, part action ninja type character, part bloody human. Batman's human. He falls in love. He has a relationship with somebody, and he feels guilty to his dead parents, and he's considering giving up being Batman for this person that he loves. This movie did actually get a theatrical release, but it is from the most of the same creative team and same voice acting talent as Batman the Animated Series. Tons of people online already praised this movie enough. I have nothing new to add except to say it looks gorgeous, it has great characterization, it's great action, it looks gorgeous, has an awesome score, and did I mention it looks gorgeous? The animation in this film is to die for. This is it, guys. This is the top 10. Number 10, The Phantom with Billy Zane. I will fight you. I am wearing purple. Yes, I know that was unintentional, but still. And I will fight you if you disagree. I will fight you through the computer screen. The Phantom is awesome. Billy Zane is so much fun in this movie. He and Christy Swanson play off each other very well. Young Catherine Zeta-Jones is pretty fun as the main female bad guy, and freaking Treat Williams plays Drac, who's the main bad guy, and he is just this over-the-top, ridiculous cartoon character who wants to collect 3 all-powerful skulls to go to the Devil's Vortex to take over the world. It's awesome. The special effects are a little bit cheesy, but I'm fantastically okay with that. The cinematography is awesome. The costumes really do pop. And yes, wearing just purple in a green jungle doesn't make sense. I don't care. The movie has this crazy Indiana Jones vibe to it, which I really love. It moves very well. It moves very quickly, and it's just super exciting and perfectly acted. Everybody got the kind of ridiculous story that they were telling and committed fully to it. Number 9 is Dr. Horrible's Sing-Along Law. Yes, it was originally released as a web show in, episodic installments, but you can sit down and watch it all as one whole continuous story, and it's fantastic. The music's great, the acting's great, the costumes are fun and silly, the ending is very heartfelt and dramatic, and of course it gave me one of my favorite things of all time, that's Commentary the Musical. Number 8 is Deadpool. Deadpool is fantastic and phenomenal and hilarious and holds up really, really well on rewatches, which actually did kind of surprise me. Ryan Reynolds is remarkable as Wade Wilson. He's remarkable, and his love of the character and him desperately trying to bring this character to life for so long shines through every moment of the film. It's actually the direct reason he played the character in the terrible X-Men Origins Wolverine. He was forced to. The studio head told him if he didn't play it in that movie, when they made a solo spin-off film, he wouldn't have that part whatsoever. So that's why he took it. How messed up is that on the studio's end, first of all? Second of all, any lingering doubts you may have about how X-Men Origins portrayed the character will go away, because this movie is Deadpool through and through. Breaks the fourth wall? Check. Blood, guts, full of horny sexiness? Check. Actually has a dramatic and engaging, interesting romantic arc? Check. Fun, awesome action scenes? Check. Crazy bad guy who Deadpool loves to torment, just torment? Check. Being hilariously awesome? Big old triple check. Number 7 is the absolute single best DC animated movie ever to date. I doubt they will ever be able to top it. Not saying it's not possible, I just highly doubt it. Justice League, the Flashpoint Paradox. Flashpoint Paradox is fantastic. It's gorgeously animated, perfectly voice acted, and it encapsulates the best things of each hero very efficiently, and it doesn't feel the need to retread everyone's backstories. It expects you to be at least familiar enough with general pop culture to understand superheroes that will just be in the movie, and you can kind of get who they are, where they came from, even if you don't know that much about them. It's very dramatic, it's very entertaining, and it just looks great, especially considering it was, direct-to-DVD and whatnot. This movie is fantastic in every imaginable way. Number 6 is The Incredibles. What can I say about The Incredibles that people haven't already said when it came out leading up to now? It's awesome, it's great, it looks awesome, it has a very engaging and dramatic story. It's a lot of fun. The family aspects work. The name of Paul is very, very cleverly used. It's great. Number 5, Captain America, the Winter Soldier. The best way I can describe what makes this movie so great is to discuss one of my best friends. His name is Kelly, and he hates the Winter Soldier comic story. He hates it. He hates it. He hates it. So, when he found out that that was what they were doing, they were going the Winter Soldier route in terms of movies and whatnot, he was not looking forward to it. He didn't think it would be very good, especially considering he didn't much care for Iron Man 3, and he really loved it. And yeah, because this movie is fan-freaking-tastic. Sebastian Stan returns with Bucky Barnes and kills it as the Winter Soldier. The political intrigue angle is brilliant. Robert Redford is perfectly cast. Chris Evans proves once again why he's such a great choice as his character. Special effects, awesome. Action scenes, amazing. And again, this isn't a big period action war movie like the first one. It's not a techno action thriller like the Iron Man film. It's a political intrigue thriller. And that dynamic and working in politics in that way, it works so well. They do it with such finesse that it never feels like it's clobbering you over the head or anything like that. It's great. Number 4 is M. Night Shyamalan's Unbreakable. Before I get into that, we need to decide to split counts or not. So leave a comment below. Anyway, Unbreakable, we probably all know this movie already. It stars Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson, and is one of my favorite movies of all time. It's a perfect film. It has stunning visuals. The cinematography and lighting in this film are excellent. The use of color throughout is brilliant. The family dynamic between Bruce Willis, his wife, and his son, really exciting and really engaging stuff. And how it just plays out like a more traditional survival tale, because during the movie, train crash happens, Bruce Willis survives, no one else does, he has no scratches on him. And for a while, it feels like it's just a drama about that playing out, why he had no scratches, how this affects his relationship with his family, how it affects his relationship with his co-workers. And then it slowly begins amping things up. He discovers certain elements. He talks to Mr. Glass, Samuel L. Jackson's character. He finds out kind of things that happened to him in his childhood he forgot, things like that. And it's all utilized so well that most people still do consider this one of, if not in my opinion, very best films. And they're not wrong there at all. Number 3 is Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2 is a phenomenal, glorious, brilliant bit of filmmaking. Spider-Man 2 has the best acting out of all 3 of Sam Raimi's Spider-Man films. It has the best balance of Peter Parker and the Spider-Man stuff, of the dramatic relationship and character stuff, of the action stuff, of the villain being personal to Peter Parker, but of it not feeling forced or awkward or anything like that as it does in Spider-Man 3, and the growing ideas of him giving up being Spider-Man and how it actually is better for him as Peter Parker, but it's worse for the city, and Dr. Octavius, aka Dr. Octopus's plan is great, and this film is completely unrivaled in action scenes. It has my favorite superhero action scene of all time. That is, of course, the train sequence. That's brilliant and stunning, and the placement of the camera, the way it moves, it's so good. My second favorite superhero movie of all time, The Avengers. This is not the shitty Sean Connery starring weather-controlling Mad Men film based on the old British show. This is the MCU movie based on the comics that they have been building up with Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, yada, yada, yada. And it's an experiment that pays off. It's an experiment that works. It's glorious. And it's not just an action film. It's not just wall-to-wall action. It's not just big spectacle set pieces. It is very much driven by all the characters, the interactions with each other, their first meetings of each other, what they think of each other, and the fact that they actually don't get along right away, and that they don't actually want to have anything to do with each other is what leads to the climax, in all honesty. They mess up, they allow somebody to die, and that directly leads to Loki escaping the helicarrier and getting into the rest of the movie, the big climatic battle with all the aliens and whatnot. Then that's the direct result of the one guy playing Galaga and then the Avengers not caring for each other at first. With some already know each other, some already like each other, but generally speaking. And that's what makes Samuel Jackson as Nick Fury, his speech about death, about Agent Coulson's death, so impactful and so interesting. And on top of that, it lets each one of the Avengers have a shining moment. It allows each one of the actors to do something really interesting and great. Mark Ruffalo is fantastically cast, as this was his first time as Bruce Banner Flash the Hulk. He's remarkable. That line, my secret is, I'm always angry, could have been really stupid. And in fact, it probably actually is if I stop to think about it. He delivers it with conviction, and it leads to such a cool scene. I don't care if it's a stupid line. I don't care if it's a stupid reason for him to get to change whatever he wants. It works beautifully here. It has an awesome score. Loki's such a cool villain. Every time he pops into the villain, we're going to get a really awesome, interesting villain with a very engaging plan. Alright, you've been with me through 7 of these videos, accumulating roughly 6.5 hours worth of your life. I appreciate that, I do. And we've come to my number 1 absolute favorite superhero film of all time, even including superhero films that have been released after I made this list. This is still my number 1. Captain America Civil War. Civil War is a jaw-dropping, monumentally impressive, absolutely brilliant film in every conceivable manner. It's ridiculous how awesome this film is. I believe it was the 12th MCU movie released. I need to double check that. But it was, definitely not number 10. It was in the teens somewhere, or just before the teens. And it's the only one where you kind of sort of need to know a little bit about the movie's interpretations of these heroes for everything to make full-on sense. But even then, that's just to get small Easter eggs and small little character moments that you wouldn't necessarily understand. Outside of that, more importantly, if you've never seen any other MCU movie, I still think this will make total sense. Iron Man is confronted with the direct death of somebody. The Avengers are confronted with them accidentally blowing up an entire building, which sets Black Panther on a revenge quest, which you can follow all these lines of logic without knowing anything else about these characters, which is beautiful. The acting is stunning, especially Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther. He is fantastic here. The special effects are so good, so exciting. There's this amazing, hilarious bit involving Spider-Man, played by Tom Holland, his introduction to the MCU, and Ant-Man, who's now Giant Man. It's awesome. It has an amazing score. brilliantly written. It understands each character it's dealing with and lets them all have a moment. And it doesn't just have them together to have all these people together. There's real conflict. There's real opposition. You understand both sides of things, and you get why this would divide everyone. And it's magnificent to watch. The MCU is a very engaging experiment for me. I still do call it an experiment, even though we're like 10 years in, and every single movie has been a hit, even to lesser degrees, of course. Captain America Civil War does have Scarlet Witch, does have Vision, does have Spider-Man and Iron Man and Ant-Man and all these other people. It's the introduction of Black Panther, but it's still very much a Captain America movie, which is perhaps the greatest thing that it does. It still is driven by Captain America's loyalty, by his ideology, by where he's at after Avengers Age of Ultron, by what he believes S.H.I.E.L.D. should have represented, how he wants to change that, how he's dealing with living in the modern age still. Frickin' Peggy Carter returns. It's just jaw-dropping in every single way. And if you haven't seen it, if you haven't seen any MCU movies, do yourself a favor and watch at least some of them. For everybody who's watched all bazillion hours and month-long delays of my superhero ranking list, I would like to very gratefully thank you for putting up with the delays, putting up with the hour-long videos and all that jazz. But this is it. That was it. We are done now. And next big project's coming up in March. So how exciting is that? As always, I've been your host, Bobby. I really do appreciate everybody sticking around, watching my crazy thoughts on superhero movies. And yes, I'm not kidding when I say Captain America Civil War is #1. And I will see you next time with a proper review, I believe.